How to talk in English. Maya stared at her reflection, a sigh escaping her lips. Another day, another silent struggle with English. Words swirled in her mind, yet vanished the moment she tried to speak. The frustration was a constant companion, a heavy cloak she wore daily. She yearned for fluent conversations, for effortless expression, but fear always held her captive. Her job required occasional English interactions, leading to awkward silences and missed opportunities. Simple questions felt like complex puzzles. Even ordering coffee in an English-speaking cafe became a daunting task, usually resulting in a nervous point and mumbled request. This daily struggle chipped away at her confidence relentlessly. She dreamed of traveling, exploring new cultures, connecting with people globally. English was the key to unlock these experiences, a bridge to a wider world. But her inability to articulate simple thoughts felt like an insurmountable barrier, trapping her within familiar linguistic borders. One evening, watching an inspiring documentary, a realization hit her. Learning English wasn't about perfection, it was about communication. She decided then and there to take the first, terrifying step. No more hiding. No more excuses. This was her moment for change. The initial fear was immense, a towering wall of self-doubt. Every word felt heavy, every sentence fragmented. She'd open her mouth, only for thoughts to scatter like dust. The sheer anxiety of making mistakes often paralyzed her completely, keeping her trapped in silence. Vocabulary was another beast. She'd memorize lists, only to forget them by morning. Words just wouldn't stick. It felt like trying to catch water with her bare hands. This constant struggle with recall often left her feeling utterly defeated and hopeless. Traditional methods, rote memorization, and grammar drills hadn't worked. She needed something different, a revolutionary approach. She scoured the internet, devouring articles and watching countless videos, seeking that elusive secret formula to fluency. Then she stumbled upon an article, Speak English from Day One. It emphasized action over passive learning. It spoke of embracing imperfections, of finding joy in small victories. This resonated deeply with her, offering a glimmer of hope she desperately needed. Her first practical step was immersion. She started listening constantly. English podcasts filled her commute. English movies, with subtitles initially, became her evening ritual. She didn't try to understand every word, just to absorb the rhythm and intonation. Next came shadowing. She'd repeat phrases and sentences immediately after hearing them, mimicking pronunciation and speed. It felt awkward at first, like talking to herself in a silly voice, but gradually, her tongue felt more agile, her sounds more natural. She began talking to herself, narrating her daily activities in English. I am making coffee now. The water is boiling. It felt strange, almost childish, but it built confidence in forming basic sentences without external pressure or judgment. Finding a speaking partner was crucial. She joined an online language exchange group. Her first conversation was incredibly nerve-wracking, punctuated by long pauses and hesitant words. Yet, the other person was patient and encouraging. She learned to embrace mistakes, viewing them as stepping stones, not failures. Each error was a lesson, a chance to improve. This shift in mindset was transformative, reducing her fear and encouraging more active participation in conversations. For vocabulary, she abandoned lists. Instead, she learned words in context, through stories and conversations. She used flashcard apps like Anki, employing spaced repetition to help cement new words into her long-term memory effectively. She started with simple sentences. Instead of striving for complex structures, she focused on conveying meaning clearly. I want coffee. This is good. Building from simple to complex gradually reduced her speaking anxiety significantly. Consistency was key. She committed to short, daily practice sessions, even just 10 minutes. A quick chat with a language partner, reading an English article, or watching a short video. These small habits compounded over time. She also learned the power of asking for clarification. Could you please repeat that? What does that mean? This not only helped her understand but also showed her interlocutors that she was actively engaged and eager to learn. To track progress and identify areas for improvement, she started recording her own voice. Listening back initially felt uncomfortable, highlighting her pronunciation flaws, but it provided valuable insights for refining her speech patterns. She attempted to think in English. When grocery shopping, she'd mentally list items in English. When planning her day, she'd formulate thoughts in her target language. This mental exercise strengthened her internal language processing. Reading English books, even simplified versions, became an enjoyable part of her routine. She started with children's books, then moved to young adult fiction. This expanded her vocabulary naturally and improved her comprehension skills. To solidify her understanding, she began writing a simple English journal. Just a few sentences daily about her day, her thoughts, or her plans. This practice helped her organize her thoughts directly in English effectively. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, her confidence grew. The fear of speaking diminished, replaced by a cautious optimism. She still made mistakes, but they no longer crippled her. Instead, they became learning opportunities readily available. Then came a breakthrough. She found herself in a casual conversation with a foreign tourist. To her astonishment, words flowed, not perfectly, but intelligibly. She understood questions and responded without her usual panic. That conversation was exhilarating. It wasn't just about speaking English, it was about connecting, truly connecting, with someone from a different culture. A profound sense of empowerment washed over her, fueling her determination even further. Her daily habits intensified. The joy of communication pushed her forward. Listening, speaking, reading, writing, all these elements intertwined, creating a holistic and dynamic learning experience that constantly challenged her. There were still plateaus, periods where progress felt slow or non-existent. During these times, she reminded herself of her journey, revisited her motivations, and sometimes took a short break before re-engaging with renewed vigor. She discovered that learning English wasn't merely a task, it became an adventure. She found joy in understanding a new idiom, in successfully explaining a complex idea, in the sheer act of expressing herself freely. She actively sought out opportunities to socialize in English. Online meetups, local English conversation groups, even finding a pen pal. Each interaction was a chance to practice, to learn, and to grow her network. Online resources became her best friends: YouTube channels for pronunciation, language learning apps for grammar quizzes, and online dictionaries for quick lookups. The internet provided an endless supply of learning material. Instead of memorizing endless grammar rules, she focused on understanding grammar through usage. Reading and listening provided natural examples, and she'd occasionally review specific rules as needed, always in context. As her English improved, she also started picking up on cultural nuances. Jokes, idioms, and social cues became clearer. This added another layer of depth to her learning, making her conversations richer and more authentic. Inspired by her own transformation, Maya started sharing her story with friends who also struggled. She offered tips, encouraged them, and even organized small practice groups, becoming a mentor in her own right. Her English learning routine became as natural as brushing her teeth. It was integrated seamlessly into her day, no longer feeling like a chore but a vital part of her personal growth and development. The positive ripple effect extended beyond English. Her newfound confidence spilled into other areas of her life. She became more assertive at work, more adventurous in her hobbies, and generally more self-assured. She learned to celebrate every small win, understanding a difficult phrase, successfully ordering food in a new restaurant, making a new English-speaking friend. These little triumphs fueled her continued dedication. She realized that learning should be fun. She watched English stand-up comedy, sang along to English songs, and played English language games. This made the process enjoyable and sustainable in the long run. Instead of aiming for overnight fluency, she set realistic, achievable goals. This month, I will learn 50 new verbs. Next week, I will have 3 English conversations. This kept her motivated and focused effectively. Above all, she understood that mindset was paramount. Believing in herself, embracing imperfection, and maintaining a positive attitude were far more crucial than any specific learning method she employed. Whenever possible, she tried to connect with native English speakers, even for brief interactions. These encounters provided invaluable exposure to natural speech patterns and varied accents, enriching her learning experience. She started using English for almost everything: writing notes, making to-do lists, even thinking about her dreams. The more she used it, the more it became a natural extension of her thoughts and actions. The consistent daily effort, no matter how small, compounded into significant progress. It wasn't about grand gestures but about the relentless accumulation of tiny, purposeful steps over many months. Her initial why, the desire to connect, to travel, to advance her career, remained a powerful motivator. Whenever she felt discouraged, she remembered her goals, reigniting her passion for learning. Her journey transformed from a daily struggle into a profound personal triumph. The language that once intimidated her now empowered her, opening doors she never thought possible, enriching her life immensely. She wasn't just someone who knew English, she was someone who spoke English confidently and naturally. It became a part of her identity, a testament to her perseverance and dedication to self-improvement. Maya eventually started a small blog, sharing her How to Talk in English journey, offering practical advice and encouragement to thousands facing similar challenges. Her story resonated deeply with many aspiring learners. She emphasized moving from theory to practice. It wasn't enough to know grammar rules, one had to use them. It wasn't enough to recognize words, one had to actively recall and deploy them in conversation. Her initial shyness, once a formidable barrier, gradually melted away. With each successful interaction, her courage grew, enabling her to initiate conversations and participate more freely and confidently. The greatest joy, she discovered, was the genuine human connection English facilitated. She made friends from different continents, shared stories, and exchanged ideas, broadening her worldview significantly. Even after achieving fluency, Maya understood that language learning was a continuous journey. There were always new words, new expressions, new nuances to explore and master constantly. Her story became a beacon of hope. If Maya can do it, many thought, so can I. Her simple, actionable advice provided a clear roadmap for anyone starting their own English learning adventure. Indeed, Maya's journey was a very interesting story, not because of dramatic events, but because it depicted the universal struggle and triumph of overcoming fear, embracing growth, and unlocking potential through consistent effort. There was no magic bullet, she concluded. Just consistent effort, smart strategies, and an unwavering belief in oneself. It was a marathon, not a sprint, but every step forward was worth it in the end. Every morning, she'd remind herself, today, I will speak English. Even if it was just a few sentences to herself, that daily commitment reinforced her habits and kept her progress steady and assured. Looking back, the girl who once struggled to order coffee now confidently delivered presentations in English, engaging audiences worldwide. Her transformation was a powerful testament to dedication. Her final advice to everyone: start small, speak often, embrace every mistake, and never, ever give up. Your voice deserves to be heard, in English and in every language you choose to conquer.